3 officers arrested me for fitting the description until they discovered I was the FBI director investigating their department. Officers Blake, Martinez, and Johnson spotted me walking through the upscale Riverside neighborhood at 8 p.m., immediately assuming I was the burglary suspect they'd been hunting despite my business suit and briefcase. I'd been conducting undercover integrity assessments of problematic police units, documenting patterns of racial profiling that had generated dozens of civil rights complaints. "Hold up right there!" Blake shouted while they surrounded me with hands on weapons. "You match the description of a breaking and entering suspect." When I calmly asked what description, Martinez laughed mockingly. "Black male, 5 feet 10 inches, suspicious behavior in a neighborhood where you obviously don't belong." Their confident aggression suggested this routine had worked countless times before. "Let's see some ID and an explanation for why you're prowling around houses you can't afford," Johnson added while positioning himself to block any escape routes. The irony wasn't lost on me that they'd targeted the federal official investigating their department for exactly this behavior. Blake's interrogation became increasingly hostile as he questioned my right to exist in a neighborhood where the average home cost exceeded his annual salary. "This your first time seeing houses with actual lawns, boy?" he asked while searching my briefcase without consent. "Or are you just window shopping for your next target?" Martinez joined the racist commentary by suggesting I'd probably never seen a 2-car garage before tonight. "Back in the day, people like you knew their place and stayed in their own neighborhoods," he said, while handcuffing my hands behind my back. "Now y'all think you can just wander around anywhere acting like you belong." Johnson contributed his own wisdom about how certain communities had higher crime rates because of cultural problems that couldn't be solved by throwing money at education. "Your people need to learn respect for other folks' property," he declared while roughly searching my pockets. "Maybe a night in jail will remind you about boundaries and appropriate behavior." The arrest became theatrical as Blake radioed in his suspicious person apprehension, while his partners provided running commentary about my obvious guilt. "We got another one trying to case the neighborhood," Blake announced over his radio, probably planning to come back later with his crew to clean out these nice families. Martinez suggested I was likely carrying burglary tools, despite finding nothing but business documents and my government-issued phone. "These types always scout locations during the day, then come back at night when honest people are sleeping," he explained to Johnson like I wasn't present. "Good thing we caught this one before he could coordinate with his gang friends." Their conversation included predictions about my criminal record, assumptions about my family background, and detailed theories about how urban culture produced career criminals. "Bet this one's got warrants from here to Detroit," Johnson suggested, while tightening my handcuffs unnecessarily. "They always do when you dig deep enough into their history." Everything changed when my phone rang with a call displaying FBI Headquarters, Director Thompson, in letters all 3 officers couldn't help but notice. "Director, the Civil Rights Task Force needs your authorization for tomorrow's raids on problematic police departments," the voice said clearly through my speaker. "We've documented sufficient evidence of systematic racial profiling to proceed with federal intervention." Blake's confident expression crumbled as he processed what he was hearing, looking from my phone to his partners with growing horror. "Director Thompson, should we prioritize the Riverside Police Department investigation based on your undercover findings?" My assistant continued while all 3 men realized they'd just arrested their own FBI director. Martinez fumbled with my handcuffs while muttering apologies, his earlier racist confidence replaced by panic about federal consequences. "We had no idea who you were, sir," Johnson stammered while backing away from the man whose investigation would determine their careers. "This is all a huge misunderstanding about a burglary suspect." The aftermath was swift and career-ending, as body cam footage captured every racial slur and civil rights violation committed by officers who just arrested the FBI director investigating their department. Blake, Martinez, and Johnson faced immediate federal charges for deprivation of rights under color of law, while their department underwent complete federal oversight. The suspicious black male they'd profiled and arrested was the federal official whose investigation resulted in their termination, criminal prosecution, and permanent disqualification from law enforcement. Their racist assumptions about my place in society had just ensured they'd spend years in federal prison, learning firsthand how the justice system treated former cops who violated civil rights.